Yo, what up guys, beside me here, this is a champion guide or champion spotlight for one that I've never built all these years that I've been playing Raid because he wasn't quite popular for good reason. But due to the new big City of Centranos content, we are building out champions we never thought we would build, and yes, they are helping us in this endgame content. If you just pull this champion, this might be beneficial to you because I can't believe I didn't take a look at him in the early game. It's most likely because I had other better alternatives which comes out to his skills right now. I'll tell you what, this champion's unique design does make him look cool. I've not seen any champion in Raid that looks good as this in terms of their character design. It doesn't have a copy of him or anything that looks similar to him. Well, it does have a similarity a little bit to Stag Knight in terms of their facial mask or whatever, but that's about it. It's a bow that looks like a bone. Anyways, we're not here to talk about his unique character design. Want to know what this champion will do for your team in the early game, mid game, or even end game where I'm currently using him or where I built him for. In the early game, I did not need him because he only has this skill right here that does decrease defense. That's all the skill does. Decrease defense. It doesn't do anything else. Fine, it might hit harder than others who do decrease defense and attack, decrease defense and weaken, decrease defense and even what do you call it now, decrease accuracy, whatever. Then these days in Raid, if you release a champion, an epic champion with just only decrease defense, people will call that a rare champion because Gorlos for the longest time have always been compared to a rare champion like what's her name, War Maiden, who does decrease defense AOE. She hits kind of hard on that skill too. So because of this skill does only decrease defense and nothing else, this is the only reason why this champion was not quite popular in Raid. It doesn't have any condition. It's on a 3-turn cooldown just like all the other decrease defense, but a lot of people wanted this skill to do something else, not just only decrease defense. So that's why he took the back seat. That's why I never used him on my account. If I'll give you an example of Terrell, who even has a defensive aura that you can use in the leader slot, or even Stag Knight, who has decreased attack going in with his decreased defense, there are a lot of other options that you might prefer than a Gorlos. Now, if you're new to Raid and he is your first decreased defense champion, that's one of the best way to do damage to enemies. If you don't land this decreased defense on them, your run to take longer. But you always want to pair him with somebody else who does maybe decrease weaken, and that will make him hit harder or make your damage dealers hit harder. So this is his main skill right here. I'm not even really interested in his A1, A3, or even his aura. This is why you need this champion in your team, and this is why I built him for the City of Centranos stages. So let's see the A1 though. It might help him become a little bit better. He fills this champion turn meter by 10% for if the target is under decrease defense, HP burn, or decrease accuracy. Those are 3 debuffs that this champion does place. You see in his A3 that he does place more debuffs. You will need accuracy on this champion. That's what it means. You also need him to be fast because you want him going before your damage dealers. So that's a useful A1. It's not a useless one. As long as the enemy has one of these debuffs on him, this champion will get like 20% turn meter fill because he hits 2 times. Each hit fills his turn meter. That means a 20% turn meter fill will make him get around to his skills fast. So that makes him get an advantage over the others like Terrell or Stag Knight. I don't think that's even an advantage, but definitely it will mean he will be hitting harder. You don't need your debuffer hitting as hard, but you don't mind building damage on a champion like this who is getting numerous turns, getting fast to his skill as soon as he can because he's boosting his own turn meter by 20% if the enemies are under any of this debuff. That's a very useful A1. I'll tell you, you will see it in battle that once his decrease defense skill is on cooldown, he just gets around to it really fast. You're like, wow, decrease defense have not even fallen off the enemy and he's already placing it again. Yes, that's what he's there for longer battles, I guess. And now for the A3, this champion will place those 2 other debuffs, HP burn and decrease accuracy, but it's on just one target. It doesn't place it on all the enemies, it's just one target. So this will be useful against bosses. If you decrease the accuracy of some bosses, they are totally useless because they cannot even debuff you. So that's a very useful debuff. Also, HP burn is important in some content to help you take down the boss, whether it's the City of Centranos stages or you're using it in general dungeon content where a champion like what do you call it now, Ratalos can benefit when there's HP burn on the boss and even nuke them harder. I don't see this being used in content like the Hydra because single damage dealing ability, but definitely the A2 might be a reason to slot him into your Hydra team as your decrease defense champion if you're limited in your choices of champions who can place AOE decrease defense on all the heads. But usually end game to mid game to end game players have better alternatives. By the time you have better alternatives, you just take him out and you no longer use him. So this makes him an MVP in the Demon Spawn faction because he's one of the few champions that will have this decrease defense AOE going in right here, which will make you take down that Demon Spawn faction a lot faster. That's not a difficult faction though, so I guess most people just get their HP born champion that they get from the bazaar and just take down that Demon Spawn faction without the help of Gorlos. So he didn't help me for faction wars, but maybe he will help you. So alright, his aura is increased ally attack in Doom Tower battles by 30%. So this champion was built to help you with Doom Tower waves or specific secret rooms of Doom Tower. I don't remember him helping me in any Doom Tower content. I don't remember it, so maybe I didn't even need him or I didn't get him by that time. But there might be a stage in Doom Tower where he specifically helps you, or during the waves where you're trying to climb through the floors in normal or hard mode. So there you go. That's all these champion skills. His stats in terms of HP doesn't look much, but you see the high attack, it means they want this champion to be a damage dealer. Sort of. His damage is all based on attack also. Straight off, I'll tell you this is just like a normal debuffer build. There's nothing really special about this champion, but because I built him for City of Sojourners, I just wanted to put out the champion guide on him. And I'll try not to say too negative things about him because I have no much experience about him and I just built him recently. I remember back in the days when they want to launch one of those their special Fire Knight tournament where they say fight the Fire Knight with only champions from a specific union, from a specific pact, as they say. So I remember he was one of the few champions that could help players place AOE decrease defense that were in that pact of factions, 4 factions. He was one of the few epics that had decrease defense AOE, and I didn't have it at that time. So I guess I fought that Fire Knight tournament without decrease defense. So I just try to remember where he can be used, and that's what I remember. All right, for a champion like that who is your debuffer, like I said already, high accuracy, high speed. If you get these 2 stats importantly in different sets, it doesn't even matter the set. Whether you want to go for speed sets, whether you want to go for accuracy sets, those are the 2 that comes to mind how to build this champion. So you're looking at my build that is all scattered all the way. Yes, I did go for a 2-piece set of accuracy and then a random set of speed. Now I wish this was speed set to make it match the speed boots, but I didn't even want to match it because I have a double roll right here on speed. So I guess that's something that you should note for this champion. For the early game, go towards speed. You can't go wrong with that, and that's what you need him to go first before your damage dealer. Now if you're beginning to get some good accuracy sets right here, this is also a good way. But if you're beginning to get some perception sets, triple roll of perception or triple sets of perception is one way to make sure you have enough speed and enough accuracy on a champion like this. Now if you have speed and accuracy taken care of, the next stat you have to look for in a champion like this is crit rate and crit damage before you even talk of attack. So how much speed you use on this champion will depend on the content you're using him against, whether you're using Dungeon 20 content, whether you've managed to find a way into your clan boss Demon Lord, or you're going to use him in endgame content like City of Sojourners stages, where I'll show him that he actually helped me in one of those stages. Alright, so it depends on that will determine the speed we want to put on this champion. So far I went with, after reaching my speed and accuracy set, I went with crit. You can see me, I went for crit, and this one also has some crit and attack. This one has some crit rate, crit damage, and more accuracy. Crit damage on the glove as usual. If you don't have enough speed and accuracy, don't put crit damage glove, don't force it on him. You probably want to have HP glove on a debuffer or defense glove on a debuffer. You don't always have to focus on damage on a champion like this, because their primary role in your team is to place decrease defense debuff so the other damage dealers can nuke harder. So he might not be contributing more damage, but we'll see how much damage he can do with this amount of stats. So that's crit rate taken care of. And let's see for attack percentage on the chest, this which means I had enough accuracy, so I did not need to put accuracy chest on him. For end game content that need 400, 500 accuracy, he might need an accuracy chest to meet the accuracy requirement. And of course, speed boots always. Accuracy on the banner is where I'm getting all my accuracy from. Crit damage again on the amulet, and HP or defense on the ring to survive longer. But I need more attack, so I went with an attack one instead, because I'm not trying to survive, I'm trying to nuke them fast so he can contribute to the damage. Total stats, you're looking at my Gorlos, does have 35k HP, 4,800, almost 5k defense, 5k attack. I'm almost as if I'm building him as a damage dealer. Well, check out his crit damage right here, 224. So if I was building a damage dealer, I'll go above 250, closer to 300, but I'm not trying to force crit damage on him. I was just trying to get his speed above 240. A lot of damage dealers stay at 200, 180, but I pushed his speed above 240 so he can help me in those endgame content to go first before my damage dealers go, or sometimes even go first before the enemies try to take a turn. That's quite important for endgame content, to be at higher speeds above 200. All right, let's check out the accuracy right here, 371, the most important stat on this champion. If you build this champion without an accuracy, then maybe you're not building as his role, as his main role. Maybe you want to use him as a damage dealer. I'd love to know what his multipliers are to see if you can actually nukes hard. So that's my total stats on Gorlos Hellmaw. And check out my masteries of this champion. Nothing special about it. He has the classic debuffer mastery, coming down to contributing with only War Master, as is one of his ways to contributing to damage for the content. And then for a champion who needs this high amount of accuracy, not just from the artifacts and accessories, but also getting accuracy from his support mastery section will be important. Like this, see, he's getting accuracy from here and accuracy from here. Now there's one important role on this support tree that made me come down here, not just the accuracy, but this one. You have a small chance, a 30% chance of extending the duration of any debuff you cast. Talking about the decrease defense, the HP burn, the decrease accuracy, all that has a 30% chance that he will increase their duration or extend their duration when he lands them. So instead of landing HP bomb for 3 turns, 3 entire turns, he will most likely land it for 4 turns sometimes, which is huge. So that's quite useful in some content where you want your debuffs to last as long as possible. All right, there's one thing I didn't check about his A3. This champion has no passives. Wow. Well, he does have a slot for you to add a blessing of cruelty for him to contribute to even more supporting roles for your damage dealer to do more damage. That's what cruelty is doing for you right here. You can choose other blessing options if you have already other champions already doing cruelty as a blessing for them. It depends. Maybe you want him in even a more support mastery might be commanding presence for the champion in your leader slot. It all depends on which type of blessing you have in your team, so make sure you choose the right one. For other mastery options, now this is a PvE mastery option. You can check out lhates.com for other masteries option. Even PvP, yes, I did find PvP masteries for him on Hellhate's website. That one will not go down to War Master, obviously. A PvP mastery will most likely select something like Shield Breaker, select Ruthless Ambush, come down to Circle of Violence and choose something as crazy as Hem Smasher or Flawless Execution. So I didn't want to build him for Arena at all. I've never seen this champion being used in Arena, so this won't be the video for that either. But if you guys want to see it, maybe I can put it together. But he serves the basic role in the early game, like a War Maiden, like your Tyrell, like nothing special. So you can use him in the arena for sure, but it's not built for that content in my account. All right, it's time for me to test this champion in some content and show you how it works. Now, the first content I'll show him off is gonna be campaign, because this champion is very early game friendly. When I say early game friendly, is because even if you eventually replace him in your teams, he will still serve you in that early game Demon Lord faction. So you can leave him at level 50 or take him to 60 if he's your only source of decrease defense or your main damage dealer that supports your campaign farmer. So let's see if we can do the campaign by himself like you normally do. Of course, for my end game account like this, it's gonna be a easy one, but it might depend on your account and which level you are. So I just wanted to try him at Brutal 12-3 to see how fast it takes it or it clears it, so we can get a feel of whether it's something he can do. It's not a lifesteal set, so that's also a beginner friendly set. He does clear the first wave though. And since they don't have any debuffs on them, he's not actually extending his turn meter, or your feeling is not turn meter. So that's almost a 20 seconds run, 18 seconds run. Not that bad with the good gear we just slapped on this champion. It's not as bad as some legendaries who are not booked. Now he is fully booked on my account, especially that A2. You want it fully booked so you can come around to using it again as you just saw him use. Now the main content I want to test this champion out for early game content will be Dragon, before I head over to the City of Centranos and show you what was the main reason why I built him, which you should even consider if you're having difficulty in that City of Centranos stage. That's a content. Recently I'm building a lot of champions that I normally would not build just because of that content, so that's why he's in this video today. All right, I put together this beginner friendly team that I normally use for all my account review and spotlight test. A team that looks like he is going to be the MVP while they are all supporting roles. But the fact is, he is even going to be doing more damage than any champion you see right here, because he's well built and they are not. All right, so let me test it out to see and really understand what this champion brings to the team. He will always start the battle with his A2, like you just saw. Is he faster than Apothecary? He's not. That's the A2. So he did land all this champion decrease defense. Some had it for 2 turns, while this champion specifically had it for 3 turns. So that's the mastery kicking off right here, putting a 3-turn debuff on somebody instead of for 2 turns. Check out, he was increasing his turn meter while hitting somebody with his A1. Let me see it happen again. Will he use his A1 again or his A3? I've not seen him use his A3. Well, he used his A3. Somebody has decreased accuracy. That means he used it. And HP burn. It was going too fast. I had to slow it down. That's the A2 coming around again. So by filling his turn meter, you can see that he was able to use the A2 again on the same wave as his A1, filling his own turn meter. You can see the right up above his head. Is his A3 available again for him to use it? Yes, another HP burn and another decreased accuracy on somebody else right here. So he's helping a little bit in the battle, I guess. But you can see that he is not the main supporting role. There's nothing in his kit that supports your other champions. So you still have to bring in your speed boosters. You still have to bring in your revivers. You still have to bring in your healers. He's not there for that purpose. It seems like he's just there to decrease the enemy's defense and not incapacitate them, but at least reduce their accuracy, place HP burn on them, make you do more damage. So he does have his role, but not as good as a decrease. Some people might even prefer a decreased attack on one of his skills than decreased accuracy. But I guess that was meant for bosses, for Doom Tower bosses. So I just wanted to let him help throughout this wave and see how it goes. It's going to work the same way towards bosses. I didn't even see his damage capability, 16,000 on that A1. That's not bad. It all depends on how many crit damage on attack you have on him. All right. Now, I'm not going to run it all the way to the end because I just wanted to have a brief explanation of how his skills work or what he does in a team. And you've seen it in action. He was there helping my starter champion, Atel, do some damage while he was the one doing most of the damage. Now, onto the Cosity, which is the main reason why I dusted this champion out of my vault and finally built him for content, was whenever I come over to this City of Centranos stages, I end up not getting past S1. So this rotation, I dedicated time to building champions to take me down S1, because it seems like I always come here, I beat this area, I clear this area, and then I'm done. Emu's done. So I never really took time to push through this stage, SO cross stage as they call it. So this is the time that I decided to start building champions for it, and he luckily was one of the champions that helped me take down S1, as you can see the team right here. So yes, I might have some legendaries who could do it, but instead of building a duplicate champion like this, which might also work, I decided to build in him instead, and he also helped me in that content. The entire team, as you can see right here, he is the only one that has decreased defense AOE that helps you do more damage. And you know, with decreased defense, your damage dealers like Ruel or Mashalad, anybody you're using right there, can even do more damage to the enemies. So he came in handy to land that decreased defense. I'm not going to run the battle because it's very finicky. Or let me just start it and see a little bit how it works. I'll not run it all the way to stage 2, just the first wave, so you can see what he's bringing to the team. He will start the battle with his AoE skill. Why? Come on now, let's not do that. I just let me put it on auto and he started the battle with his A3. That's a weird choice. But you can set that or do it on full manual. Always City of internal stages. I would prefer to do it on manual instead of auto. That's why he's in the team. That's why. So my damage dealers can go in there and begin to take them down. I have a stunner right here. I have boosters up. I have a bomb champion right there who plays bombs on them. So that's why he's there, to place that decrease defense, and he will do that for wave 1, he'll do that for wave 2, while also contributing some damage a little bit. So he helped me in that content. Mission accomplished. So if you want to use this champion in the early game, if you want him to be helpful for Demon Lord faction, or if you want to save him for the S1 stage like this, you can see that he has some niche uses in raid, but he's not the best AOE decrease defense champion in raid. If you don't have the Terrells, if you don't have the Deacon Armstrongs, if you don't have the Stagnites, there are lots of options these days in raid that have AOE decrease defense that are far more better than Gorlos, unfortunately. But there are some niche stages where you can just see where he can shine and help you, especially when they say use only Demon Spawn faction in specific content. He is there to be your only decrease defense in Demon Spawn. Alright, that's what I think about this champion. He's not quite hyped in raid for good reason. So if you found use for him, let me know in the comments. For now, this is why I built him. This is why I brought him out of the vault, and he has served that purpose for now. I would love to know your thoughts below, where you think this champion, where else you think this champion might be used, because from his skills and abilities, I have maxed him out. I have slapped some good gear on him, so I intend for him to stay like this on my account and help me in those S1 stage whenever it comes around. Now, there might be other stages in the City of Eternals that requires him. I hope so. That requires Demon Spawn faction, or that require attack champions or epics, and then he comes in there and helps me. For now, that's what I built him for. Alright, don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid content. If you have any champions that you're wondering about, type their name in the comments below. I'm happy to take a look at them, build them, test them out, and put out these videos, because these champions are not that used in raids. So it's nice to finally get my hands on them, get them out of the vault, test them out. Even if their use is only one content, mission accomplished. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.